Tripp hijacked, Rafe's disclosure, Steve's confirmation, visiting Tate. Days of Our Lives uncover that Tripp Johnson and Wendy Shin are grabbed. Ava Vitale shares intel with Rafe Hernandez. Days of Our Lives spoilers features Steve Johnson demonstrates to Stephanie Johnson of Everett Lynch's actual character. Besides, Brady Dark and Teresa Donovan visit Tate Dark. Days of Our Lives Tripp Johnson grabbed DOL bother that Tripp and Wendy get abducted. A medical caretaker previously educated Kayla Johnson that Tripp didn't appear for his work shift at the clinic. Kayla attempted to call Tripp yet didn't find a solution. Kayla realizes this is extremely not normal for Tripp. Tripp's kidnapping from Days of Our Lives, Rafe's discovery, Steve's proof, and visiting Tate. In the meantime, Wendy has some work at the police headquarters. It's not satisfactory assuming Wendy was planned to work, however on the off chance that she doesn't appear, that will raise warnings. DOL Rafe Hernandez's revelation Vitale discovers that Wendy and Tripp have vanished while on Ava. Ava should go with a major choice. Ava winds up enlightening Rafe regarding her arrangement with Harris Michaels. Clyde Weston is completely finishing his aggressive statements regardless of who gets found out in the crossfire, including blameless small kids and an old couple. Additionally, read DOL EJ DiMera plots against Ava Vitale. Susan Banks makes all the difference? When Rafe discovers that Ava and Harris had an arrangement, what will be the commission's best course of action? Dislike Rafe can capture Clyde as he's as of now in jail. In addition, Clyde has servants both inside and outside. Thus, halting Clyde's criminal frenzy will be more difficult than one might expect. The evidence of Days of Our Lives by Steve Johnson. Days of Our Lives uncover that Stephanie won't know who to accept. Fortunately, Steve can find solutions before long for Stephanie. Steve shows Stephanie evidence that Jada Tracker's story is valid. Bobby Stein is indeed Everett. Stephanie will feel like a numbskull and presumably dumps Everett. However, there is by all accounts more going on in the background. Likewise, read Days of Our Lives comings and goings. Lamont Archie and Sal Stowers are back. DOL fans of On can also anticipate Jada confronting Everett with a memory of their time spent together. Over in Southern Illinois, Brady and Teresa visit Tate at the recovery office. Can Brady fix his broke relationship with his child? Which storyline would you say you are anticipating seeing the most on Thursday, February 22nd? Secrets encompass Harris's shooting. Did messy official Goldman assist with outlining Xander? Days of Our Lives and bits of gossip bother. Secrets encompass Harris Michaels, Steve Burton, shooting. Did filthy official Goldman assist with outlining Xander Cook for Harris's shooting? Days of Our Lives Harris Michaels knew his aggressor. There's not an uncertainty. Harris knew his aggressor. He pivoted and tended to them with goodness. It's you just to get 2 or 3 short proximity projectiles in the chest. If Goldman had been further away, it would have appeared to be the same based on the angle at which he looked at the shooter, Xander, given his height. Days of Our Lives secrets encompass Harris's shooting. Did filthy official Goldman assist with outlining Xander? To the extent that outlining Xander for the shooting, she might have glanced through police records and learned about his past, and utilized a voice masking application on the call. Clyde Weston might have settled on the decision to Xander a couple of days in front of the shooting too, and let Goldman know all she had to be aware to approach him. DOL as super, Great Edge Stephen DiMera was the only person Xander told about the call to hire him for a hit job before he was arrested. Xander thought the guest might have been EJ DiMera in light of the fact that he knew his past. After Stephen denied he made it happen, Xander never told the individual he'd take the work. 2 or after 3 days was when Harris was trapped and shot behind the bistro. He forgot his phone at home when he went for a run that night, so another call from the blocked number asked if it had been done. Then, at that point, when the police found a burner telephone close to the location of the shooting, it ended up being the one from which Xander was called. Goldman got it. Motivation, instrument, and chance in Days of Our Lives. Typically the platitude thought process, means, and opportunity is utilized for a crook, however it very well may be utilized for a grimy cop too. Goldman's rationale would be working for Clyde. Her means and opportunity would approach Xander's loft for the pursuit and establishing the firearm there. Nonetheless, Xander's past had additionally been raised by another person. The night he, Sarah Horton and the child ate with Maggie Kiriakis, Constantine Meliunis brought it up. However, Constantine might have brought it up for one more explanation than attempting to recruit him to kill somebody he can't have. Reality uncovered that Xander is Viktor Kiriaki's beneficiary. Nonetheless, it is dubious what number of co-backstabbers are in Clyde's tangled web. The deceptive strategy behind framing Xander Cook by Stefan DiMera. Even though all of the evidence seems to support the opposite, Days of Our Lives suggests that Xander Cook had nothing to do with Harris Michaels' shooting. Fortunately, Sarah Horton trusts him. In any case, the terrible news is, he actually could invest a lump of energy in jail in the event that an official courtroom accepts he's liable. Fans realize he's being set up, yet by whom and why? Stefan DiMera might have the solutions to this. Days of Our Lives. Stefan DiMera has been acting obscure. Days spoilers hint that Stefan has been acting strange lately. Around Ava Vitale, as well as review how anxious he was in the bistro while conversing with Tripp Johnson and Wendy Shin after Harris was shot. Days of Our Lives. Stefan DiMera's dishonest arrangement behind outlining Xander Cook. At that point, crowds just expected it was on the grounds that the two tracked down him and Ava in the radiance of the room meeting, and as Stefan doesn't believe Gabby Hernandez should find out about this, he was restless. Nonetheless, since a few watchers assume his way of behaving has something to do with Harris's shooting. Days. There are no fortuitous events in Salem. At the point when Xand previously got the call to dispose of somebody from an obscure guest and number, he went to the DiMera house to defy EJ DiMera. EJ wasn't there, yet Stefan was, and Xand raked EJ's sibling over the coals. It's interesting that Stefan would defend his brother on that level when the two aren't very close and don't really share the inner details of their lives. At the time, he insisted that EJ wasn't the caller spewing murder orders. How did Stefan be aware for a reality that EJ wasn't the guest except if he was the guest himself? At that point, the Xander/Stefan scene appeared to be so irregular. However, as the bits of this shooting puzzle keep on meeting up, it would seem okay for Stefan to be the shooter. All things considered, he might have a side concurrence with Clyde that Ava has hardly any insight into. Of course, perhaps Weston was on to Vitale's mysterious collusion with Harris, and how she was taking care of data to the cop. Assuming that is the situation, Stefan might have shot Michaels and outlined Xander to shield her from Clyde's likely rage. Is Stefan behind Harris's shooting? Remark underneath. Watch your #1 Peacock Cleanser day-to-day to get all the show and visit CBL frequently for the greatest Days of Our Lives updates and spoilers. What's more, you presumably figured they couldn't return, correct? We have good news for you, then. Days of Our Lives comings and goings. Say Lamont Archie and Sal Stowers are back. The well-known duo is returning as Eli and Lonnie. They will be back as quick as the February 26th episode to see an extremely debilitated Paulina. For everything you need to know, continue reading below. Days of Our Lives comings and goings. Lamont Archie and Sal Stowers are back. As per drama overview, Lamont was gotten some information about his most recent revisitation of the hit Peacock Cleanser. He said, "I was eager to see Sal, Stowers, Lonnie. It had been quite a while since I had any scenes with her, so it was certainly great to return and work with Sal once more." The attractive entertainer proceeded, "I was certainly anticipating finding Jim, Reynolds, Abe, and consistently Susan, Seaforth Hayes, Julie. Whenever I go there, I generally go to her room and check whether she's in there, regardless of whether I have a scene with her. I generally attempt to meet up with her." Back throughout the mid-year of 2023, Lamont said he got a call from the projecting chief, Marnie Seda, inquiring as to whether he could return. It didn't take extremely lengthy for Lamont to concoct his response. He said, "She reached my chief and inquired as to whether I was allowed to come in and help out with the storyline they had going on. I had nothing happening at that point." Days of Our Lives comings and goings. What's next for Eli and Lonnie? Off-screen, Lamont has been keeping really occupied. Back in February 2023, the attractive entertainer took to his Instagram record to share the news that he and his future spouse Kristen Terry are set to secure the bunch together. He shared a photograph of the exceedingly significant wedding band and inscribed it with, "Drew and #coming soon #real-life." It's a given that Days of Our Lives fans should tune in every single day to figure out what will occur straight away. Meanwhile, let us in on your thought process by leaving us a line with your viewpoints in our remarks segment underneath. Days of Our Lives airs work days on the Peacock organization. Really take a look at your neighborhood postings for times.